Hi, I'm Gina with Curly Girl Creates. Welcome to my messy craft room. You know, if you create anything at all, it's going to be a mess. There's a project my son's working on, and anyway, this is our creative space. So this is what we do. Because we're here, I'm going to show you my next project. I got the cutest pants the other day at a real reasonable price, but I'm short. I'm 5'2", and so they're really long. Let's see if I can get my waist. They pull at the ground. I don't know if you can see. Anyway, they're really long. And I want to wear them. So I'm going to have to fix that. So I'm going to show you how to measure yourself. If you're by yourself, that way you don't have to wait for somebody to help you measure or whatever. You can do it yourself. And a simple hem. Okay, I'm back. Here is my measuring tape. And I have on the shoes that I think I'm going to wear with them. Now, I could change my mind, so it's not 100%. But that way I know they'll look good with the shoes I'll wear most of the time. All right, on measuring tapes, this has a metal tip. Might be a little bit heavier. So what I'm going to do, and step back so maybe you can see me. I'm just going to drop this to the floor. Whoops, I need my pants. You know what? I got to put on my pants to make this work. Ugh. Okay, I'm back. I got my pants on. I know it doesn't go with this top, but I'm not going to wear it with this top. Okay. The thing that makes it, if you're going to measure by yourself, if you put the metal tip down, now mine's kind of a plastic measuring tape. Some are cloth, more pliable. So if they are, the metal tip will make a big difference. I just drop the metal tip down where I'm wanting to put it. Like I'm wanting it obviously above my shoe because I don't want to step on it, above the sole of my shoe. I think I'm wanting it about my ankle. Well, between my ankle and the sole of my foot. So I have the metal tip where I want it. And then I'm going to walk, and since I put the metal tip down, which usually is the beginning one, this one has a metal tip on both ends. The side that starts with 1, the beginning of your measuring tape, put that down, and that way when you come up to your waist, you have the number you want. So if you did it the other way, like I drop it this way, it's hard to see the exact number the way I want, and it doesn't want to lay flat on the ground, and I can't see my number, and I need help. But if I start with the 1, the low end of the measuring tape, start with the 1, turn it down, fish it down. I know you can't see, but I put that down, and I can see where I want my pants to hit between my ankle and my sole. And then, like I said, I just kind of walk my fingers up. Walk my fingers up. And it's between 36 and 37. The first time I measured was 37, and this was 36. So my philosophy, got hair in my mouth, sorry, is I'm going to shoot for 37. It's a little bit longer than obviously 36 or 36 and a half. Because I can always take more fabric off if it's too long. But if I make it too short, it's harder to add fabric on. You can, but it changes the look and the dynamic. So it's easier for me to, I like to err on the side of too long versus too short. Now 37 is not my cut line. When I take my pants off and I measure from the waist down to 37, that's going to be my fold. That's going to be where I hem it. So I will have to add a little bit more to hem it, but I'm probably going to take it off, take my pants off, measure down to 37. I'm going to iron a fold where I want the hem to be. I'm going to put them back on to see if that's where I want it to be before I do any cutting. Okay, I've got my pants laid out here, got my measuring tape out here. Here's the 37 mark, and it's actually 41 inches long. So it's 4 inches, actually 4¼ inches too long. So that's a lot. So I'm going to take my measuring tool and go to 4¼ I slid this down, and this is where, when I fold it up, am I telling you right? My brain's stalled out on me. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm working. It's working again. I'm going to take, this is the bottom leg. This is just the easiest way since I've measured it. I'm going to measure up from the hem 4¼ So I want my, if I put this on the, if I put this red mark on the hem, this is going to show me where I need to fold it, to iron it, and just try to fold it there at that mark. And remeasure. I folded it like this is the inside of the leg. This is where my leg comes out. And I folded the bottom, which is touching my ironing board, because that's where I'm going to put my iron. And I am about to show you what I'm doing. There's my 4¼ mark, and it goes up to my hem. So I'm going to iron that all the way around that leg. And then I'm going to try it on and make sure that's right before I cut and hem. So, and you just kind of casually work your way around the pant leg. And I've measured this, so I'm going to scoop my iron over. Then I'm going to stretch this pant leg out over there. Hard to do this one-handed. And do the same thing. So the 4¼ goes on the fold, and that goes in the original hem. And I'm going to scoop my iron. I'm going to do that all the way around the pant leg. So I have a crease all the way around where I think the hem is going to be. Okay, I've done this leg all the way around it. I have folded it and got a real pretty crease right here. All the way around. So now I'm going to try them on and see if that's where I want them to fall before I do anything else. Okay, that's pretty much where I want it. So now I'm going to do the other leg and cut them both. Yeah, I don't know if you can see. Like, it's dipped in. So I'm obviously not going to stretch that and make that do 4¼ because then that would make my hem dip. And that's probably because they were really cheap, inexpensive pants that I thought were so cute at a great price. That's probably the reason they were at a great price. So I've done both legs. I'm going to quickly, because when I put my feet in them, it wants to kick the hem out that I just ironed. So I'm quickly going to put just a couple of pins in to hold it while I put them on. And I don't kick the hem out. Like I said, this is just an added measure of protection. As they say in woodwork, measure twice, cut once. Well, the same thing should be said for sewing. My husband was a carpenter. Used to be. He's not anymore. All right, let me try them on. Okay, this is where I think I want them to hit. If I walk, I'm not going to step on them. I think it's a nice length. Okay, I'm pleased with that. Okay, just looking at this, it looks like they had a 1/4 inch seam. A little more, not quite. But that's not the raw edge. So let's say this is a fold, so there's a 1/4 inch under there and a 1/4 inch out here. So you'd actually need this hem to be a 1/2 inch, and then you fold it in again to make a 1/4 inch. I can explain that in a minute. So from my folded edge, I am going to want to cut it a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to get a marker. I love these Frixion markers. Not markers, it's a pen, it's a roller, good grief. It's a ballpoint pen. And I'm going to show you because I'm going to cut this off anyway. If you mark on it, you see that purple mark? Well, they're erased by heat, so I'm going to put my iron to it, and it disappears. I love that. I love that. But let me tell you what not to do with them. Don't use them in your planner and leave your planner in your car. I did that one year. I used them in my planner and left my planner in a hot car during the summer, and all my notes were gone. And then I'd left my pens in the car too, and well, my pens quit working. So yeah, that was not smart of me. So I'm pretty much going to take from the edge a 1/2 inch and make marks all the way around. And that's going to be where I'm going to cut. And then I'm going to fold them and hem it. And it looks like this was machine hemmed. You can hand hem them or machine hem it. I don't know what that's all about. Doesn't matter. It's anyway. I'm going to come through and make enough marks. Now you do want to test these Frixion pens. Like, it didn't go all the way through the side that shows. If it's going to be somewhere that might show. Now this is going to be the hem. I'm going to probably cut that off. And if a little bit remains, it's going to be folded under and hid inside the hem. So it doesn't matter. But if you happen to be somewhere that you think it might show on your finished fabric, test it first on a small inconspicuous area before you go marking. Because the type of fabric may take the ink better or may not release it to the heat. I don't know. I haven't tried it with every single type of fabric. I've just tried it with a few projects. And most of the stuff I've tried it on, it's been where it didn't matter. Like this, like the hem, it's going to be turned under if it left a mark. Or it's going to be inside the lining, somewhere like that. Now, I am not paid by Frixion to tell you that. I do not get any benefits whatsoever. I'm just telling you what I like to use personally. They work for me. I like it. My sister-in-law and I went to a quilt show. I went with my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and a friend. The Paducah Quilt Show this past summer. And we kind of, sometimes we stay together, sometimes we split up. We had split up, and my sister-in-law was telling me about this pen she saw that somebody was using quilting. And it wasn't really disappearing ink, and they didn't have to have water, and had to do with heat or something. And she was talking about it, and I was like, well, I know what kind of pen that is. I said, I have some at the house. So it's a Frixion pen. So, and I'm assuming that's how you say it. It's, can you see it? Frixion, Frixion. If I'm saying it correct, I may not be saying it correctly, but you know, me and my southern accent. And I told her, I said, you can get them off a supply store. You can get them maybe Walmart. I'm not sure. I would think. I know you can order them on Amazon. You can get almost anything on Amazon. It comes in multiple colors. I have other colors. The only thing is, they don't make a light colored one because it's designed for paper. And this part is supposed to erase. So instead of actually erasing, it's the heat from the friction is what it says erasable. I don't know if you can see that. It says erasable. So it's designed for paper. But like I said, I don't use mine on paper. I use mine on fabric. And like I said, it's not really, that's a little kind of a rubber tip, but it's not like a regular eraser. It's the heat from the friction that really gets rid of it. So you can't use these on dark fabrics because it doesn't show up. But on lighter fabrics, it's great. Like I said, they have other colors. I think I have a blue. Maybe a pink. Hot pink. It'd be a hot pink. I don't remember what all colors I actually do have. And sometimes I even like to take these pens and I will trace my pattern onto my fabric. And that way I don't have to worry about my pattern shifting while I'm trying to cut it or anything. It's already been traced on there. I'm going to remove the pins. They were just temporary. I've done both legs. Yep. And now I'm going to take my scissors and cut. Most crafters may be like this. I want to save this fabric because it's several inches. What is it? It's like 3.5 inches. I could make a hair scrunchie with that. I could use it actually in making books. I could use the scrap fabric for something else. So I'm going to be real careful. And I'm going to cut up the seam. And then cut on the lines. You never know. I could possibly, there's so much fabric here because the legs are wide legs. And like I said, it's about 3 inches. I could possibly even take some of this and put a little trim around sleeves on a top to make it look like it's a set. Kind of too small to make a pocket. I could cut words out, letters out, and sew them on a shirt again to make a set. Could say mom, or I don't know. Because this edge is not going to be seen, I'm going to fold it under. I'm not being super, super careful. I mean, I'm trying to do a neat job. But if there's a tiny jagged edge, I am not going to sweat it. See, that's a lot of fabric there to do something with. Love it. Now quickly, before I do the other leg, I'm going to show you what I was talking about. Because I've already got it pressed to where the seam is going to be, but I don't want a raw edge. That's the seam. I'm just going to take it and kind of fold it in half on the inside. Can you see that? Nope, sorry. Okay, this is my original pressed seam, and that's going to be the hem. That's what you're going to see on the outside of my leg. That's outside of my pant leg. And this is, like I said, this is what you're going to see when we're done. This is the inside, but I don't like those raw edges. So what I'm going to do, let me get this out of the way, is I'm actually just, can I zoom in? Yeah, I don't know how to get my camera to stay there with me not holding it. Okay, I'm going to fold this in half to the inside. And because I'm ironing, I'm not doing it to erase the Frixion marks, because like I said, it's going to be on the inside of the hem. Won't see it anyway. But ironing is going to erase those marks for me. Alright. Now, right at the seam is a little bulky and it doesn't want to cooperate. Now, depending on your type of fabric, if it stays really well after ironing it, yeah, my southern accent, ironing it, if it stays really well, you can just take it directly to the sewing machine and sew it. If it doesn't, you may have to pin it or clip it. I love these quilt clips. These quilt clips. Just clip it to hold it. It's similar to a pin. It will hold the bulky seam down for me. Oh, this is a brand, somebody gave me a free sample and I don't like this kind. They're really hard to open. But it helps hold the bulky seams in. Ta-da! Now I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine and hem it. Oh, I may have cut that too soon. Okay, another little tip or trick I want to share with you that I personally like to do. I like to start on the inside seam. I've just checked. This is the inside. This will be the inside of the leg. That way, if by chance I don't match up perfectly well, it's not going to be the outside and everybody's seen it. It's going to be the inside where my two ankles touch. And it won't be super obvious. Most people won't know what happened except for me. And that seam is bulky again, is not wanting to cooperate. And because I'm not using pins, probably should because this fabric is not cooperating. I have to check it with my fingers. I'm gonna back stitch. Oh, I thought my bobbin didn't feel right. Ugh. I don't know why my top thread broke. Yeah, it's not doing right. Ugh. Okay. I gotta look at my machine. Pause. Okay, I didn't get to finish filming the video. My phone died. Ended up, my machine, there was nothing wrong with it. In all honesty, I do enjoy sewing, but I've made it a low priority lately. And my machine was probably just being temperamental and feeling neglected, so she was giving me some troubles. But finished hemming them. I wanted to wear them to church tonight. It's Wednesday night. And so I was going to let you know. I think they turned out really cute. So I'm sorry that you didn't get to see the rest of the video. But it was simply sewing a straight line. I hope if you need to hem some pants, maybe you're not short like me, but if you need to hem some pants, I'm hoping you'll try it. It's not hard. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening.